I used to hate getting up in the morning knowing that I would have to interact with those two. To this day, I'm deeply, deeply traumatised just for having been around them.
Is it wrong to feel hate? Hate towards the two boys? Is it wrong? I don't know. But it is understandable. It's difficult to do these interviews. I wasn't principal at the time. I didn't even live in this town. But obviously I was aware of what happened.
The entire school, the entire community, the whole country was petrified of those two.
There's a healing process. It takes time. It's not easy.
I mean, you had the outsiders, then those outside the outsiders, and then you had these two outside of those who were outside the outsiders.
From across the room, I see you.
With a population of just over 17,000, Kilshamrock is one of Ireland's larger towns. It lies 37 kilometres north of Lurgan City on Ireland's west coast. The town was founded in 1557, and like most other towns and cities in this nation, has seen throughout its history famine, floods, uprisings, rebellions, poverty, prosperity, peace, and violence. In its recent history, however, few events have stood out more than the attack on St. Spoofers Park. Yeah, just being in Kilshamrock now, just entering the town, I can almost smell the toxic masculinity in the air.
Now, obviously, like being as highly educated as I am, I know, social segregation.
Segregation
is not right, okay? But them two lads, they just weren't right in the head.
Speaking to a man as educated as McGee was an eye-opening experience, and I'm glad to say that I learned a lot. Schmiggy then took me down to a local site known as the Pier of Horror, a site of running battles between British warships and U-boats during the First World War, and also a regular drinking spot for the area's youth.
Oh yeah, they'd be down here now, them lads. This is where they'd be, with all their friends, kind of like drinking.
They'd be goths, wouldn't they?
Got? What?
Do you know, like fellas, white faces and like dressed with trench coats and all that?
Oh, that was them. Yeah, that's exactly what they were like. Them.
Yeah, I'd say that was them, alright. Yeah.
You see all this now? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was them.
So, all of this damage would have been done on the one night?
Oh, absolutely. They completely trashed the place. One night is all it took them.
Myself and Smiggy then parted ways, as he informed me that he intended to go off and further improve and pursue his educational credentials. I then went to talk to prominent local author John J. Tapper. Tapper's books on local history, politics, and the goth culture's place in the modern societal dynamic have sold well throughout Kilshamrock and beyond, and have appeared in the recommended lists of 3 of the nation's 4 leading newspapers. It was, to say the least, a sobering discussion. Now, in your award-winning book, Temper, Torture, Terror, Thunder, How Russian Hackers Are Helping Brexit, Trump and Goths Wipe Out Mankind, you go into this threat in extreme detail. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very scared, 10 being petrified. Where should we be now?
I don't know, 15? Take the worst nightmare you've ever experienced, multiply that by 1,000, and you're on the right track.
After talking to Mr. Tapper, I felt compelled to visit what's known locally as the Park of Death, a suspected goth hangout. It was an eerie place to visit, deeply unsettling. Run! Turn it up! Turn up the camera! After our near-death experience at the Park of Death, my cameraman decided to take 6 months paid leave in order to seek counselling. It was an emotional time. I decided to publish a Facebook post describing how tough this experience has been, and how sometimes I feel like no one cares about me. I received 36 likes, 40 heart emojis, 29 care emojis and 6 tear emojis, as well as numerous supportive comments. Satisfied with that, I decided to carry on. I visited a local woodland which had been frequented by the two boys. While there, I encountered a visiting student and decided to get her take on the attack.
Okay, so do you mind me asking you what your name is?
Yeah, of course. Clara. Hi.
Okay, and welcome to Kilshamrock.
Thank you very much.
How do you find the place?
I like it. Just a bit rainy, but otherwise,
of course.
nice.
Very good, very good. And what are you doing here exactly?
I'm studying here. I'm doing my master thesis here.
Okay, that's very interesting. Nice one. That's good.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, which city are you from originally, Clara?
I'm from Berlin.
Oh, Berlin. Very nice. And do you have goths in Belgium?
Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have goths in Berlin.
And would goths be connected in any way to a crime culture in Berlin?
Yes, basically.
I guess so. Maybe.
Now, Lara, since
it's Clara.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, since you've been in Kilshamrock, you'll have noticed that there is a strong goth culture in this town.
Yeah, I've seen them.
What is your opinion on goths?
They're okay. I mean, I just see them. I don't really know them, so they're fine, I think.
Do you totally trust them, like?
I wouldn't say that, but...
Exactly, yeah. And finally, Clara, do you feel that in this town there is an impending sense of doom and horror enveloping the place?
Sure. Whatever, but I really gotta go. Back to my work now, so bye.
Thank you.
Clara was obviously very nervous and reluctant to talk about this issue, which is strange because she struck me as the type of person who never shuts up talking rubbish. She must have been very scared.
There's a lot of anger in young men today. This can manifest itself in many different ways. It can sometimes emerge in the form of depression. Other times they can bottle it up and then lash out violently. An ominous thing is happening to young men in Ireland.
An ominous thing is happening to young men in Ireland. I mean, how do you explain Conor McGregor's press conferences then? All these young Irish lads jumping around and happy and cheering and smiling and all that. Are you telling me that they're depressed? Rubbish.